A very warm welcome to the much awaited mapping series for preliminary exam 2024. Before I even begin with part 1, I have a very important announcement to make. As we are all aware that mapping for at least the past 2 years is important for every year's preliminary exam, which is why on the onset it is my duty to inform all the aspirants that the mapping entry series for last year is still equally important. Multiple questions were asked directly from this mapping series in the last year's preliminary exam itself. Nevertheless, all the remaining entries are still equally important for this year as well. For your convenience, in the description box of this video, I have added the link to the previous year's mapping series as well. I have also added a link to the Telegram group of our institute, where you will find the entire PDF of last year's mapping series. Let's start with the mapping entry series for this year. Last year also we began our mapping series with the southeastern corner of Ladakh. Why was that in news last year? Because we developed India's first Hanle Dark Sky Reserve. In that dark sky reserve, something has sprung up. Along our line of actual control, the major road running parallel to the line of actual control in the southeastern corner of Ladakh is the Chushul Dungti Phukche Demchok road. This is the main road running parallel to the line of actual control. Very important. Earlier, Khardungla was the highest motorable road. A new road was constructed joining Chimsul to Demchok via Umlingla. This at present is the highest motorable road on earth at an altitude of 19,000 feet. But the Border Roads Organization, to be specific, an all-women engineering unit of the Border Roads Organization, they have started constructing another feeder road to the Chunsul Dungti Phungchek Demchok road from Lekaru to Phukche. It is going to pass through Migla. Once constructed, this road is going to be the highest motorable road on earth, and the altitude at Migla will be 19,400 feet. Besides all of these are major connector roads to our border areas. It is a strategic road. Nevertheless, another entry becomes important. Demchok itself, besides Migla, besides Umlingla, Demchok is very important because the river Indus, it enters India at Demchok. All of this is adjoining the Hanle Dark Sky Reserve itself. The Pangong So means lake. The LAC, line of actual control, actually passes through the Pangong So, making all of these entries extremely important for this year's preliminary exam. Coming to the second most important entry, again there is a link from last year's mapping series. Karnataka and Tamil Nadu, they are always in a tussle with the Kaveri waters. Last year Hogenakal was in news. Hogenakal is a bordering area between Karnataka and Tamil Nadu. Karnataka opposed to a proposal by Tamil Nadu last year that they will start constructing some dam at Hogenakal in order to utilize the water. As a response, Karnataka has now proposed that it will start constructing a dam at Mekhdatu. The reason cited for that is they want to secure the water needs of Bengaluru by this project. But anyhow, it seems like a response to Tamil Nadu's Hogenakal proposal. Anyway, making this entry extremely important. The dotted line over here marks the boundary between Karnataka and Tamil Nadu. This map represents the entire Kaveri river basin. Coming to the third most important entry for this year's preliminary exam, let's come to Assam. The Lakhova Burachapori Wildlife Sanctuary is extremely important because rhinos have entered this wildlife sanctuary after a span of 40 years. It was a long fight for Assam to bring rhinoceros back to this wildlife sanctuary. What did they do? Large scale eviction drives were carried out to clear the encroachments in this animal corridor. The animal corridor, it lie between the Orang National Park and the Kaziranga National Park. More than 13,000 acres of encroachments have been removed, including riverine islands, allowing the animals to migrate through the animal corridor, entering the Lakhova Burachapori Wildlife Sanctuary, making all these entries extremely important for this year's preliminary exam. Coming to the next most important entry for this year's exam, let's go global. As per a latest research published in January 2024, 4 new plateaus have been discovered in the Pacific Ocean, namely the Shatsky Rise, the Hess Rise, the Otong Java Plateau, and the Maniki Plateau. Why are these important? Because prior to this discovery, it was believed that the ocean floor, the ocean plates are very hard and resistant. They do not go any kind of deformation within the plate itself. All the plate tectonic activity was supposed to be concentrated only at the plate margins, along the plate boundaries. Nevertheless, as per this research, what have they found? That all the plate that starts sinking at these trenches creates a kind of extension on the plate. All of this leads to the stretching of the Pacific plate itself, leading to the formation of fissures and fractures. Through those fissures and fractures, what takes place? Basaltic eruptions. Just like the formation of our Deccan traps, flood basalts keep on depositing, layers of basalt keep depositing on the ocean floor, the part of the ocean floor which has been stretched and weakened, developing layered structures known as plateaus. These elevated flat top areas have been discovered in the Pacific Ocean. The Ontong Java Plateau was the main plateau where most of the research was conducted, and it passes right through the equator. Another important entry that lies just on the equator, just west of this Ontong Java Plateau, is the new capital of Indonesia, the proposed capital. Again, entries with respect to that have been already covered in the last year's mapping series. And yes, we are talking about the island of Borneo. Nevertheless, this is all for the mapping series part 1. Stay tuned for further parts. I'll bring you a lot of detail and a lot of entries, and I shall continue it till I cover all the entries which are important for this year. Thank you and stay tuned for further videos.